According to Albert Einstein, whoever is careless with the truth in small matters should never be trusted with important matters, especially matters of state. Irresponsibility of power is what I'm talking about today. Saying two former governors of Rivers State have been at each other's throats since they both parted ways over their individual political ambition, it's not news. What, however, is news is how both of them have been outrageously disgracing each other on national television in recent times over quest for power and political survival relevance, you would say. In the first interview, our brother was asked, among other things, if he has ever worked anywhere outside of government. And here his response, that his wife is almost an industrialist. Because according to him, she buys and sells anything. I beg, I will ask, how does working outside of government relate to buying and selling anything? Have been an iron condemn? Oh, poor wife. See how her husband dragged her enter fight when no concern her. And come see how Wiki with a loud mouth. They run like tap water the next day, dragging the woman like a pass by generator with Nimasa something, you understand? But I beg, tell me, how does buying and selling anything equate to being an industrialist? Anyway, maybe we leave the answer. Maybe Nimasa will come up with, a statement. Our new Messiah even went as far as saying that he's a poor man who was gifted a Rolls Royce, but refused to drive it and even inform his people, to look for a buyer. Then just that he didn't say he will give the proceeds of the sale to charity, as a new lover of poor Nigerians. So please permit me to ask again, what did you do for that person to gift you a Rolls Royce? Because who use an elephant set trap? Definitely, only God knows what he will catch. What is the job of the person that gifted you Rolls Royce? Now, so the person, they dash people Rolls Royce here and there. And how many people he don't dash Rolls Royce before and after you? Anyway, plenty questions you will say and let's answer. So, but however, let's move away from Amaechi and move to his friend and brother Wike. Wike said his father was a wealthy man and consequently he was able to afford and actually drove a Mercedes-Benz as a student in the university. I laugh. The question I want to ask our minister, if your father was so rich to be able to buy you a Benz as a student, why then you not go work for your papa company to use this your plenty talk, expand that family business that gave you a Benz as a student so that the business can grow and be able to buy Benz for other students in the family? Abi, others know they forbid that. Abi, they forbid say, hey, they'll drive Benz for that family. Oh, well, I forgot. Politics money is better and could easily buy a Rolls Royce instead of growing a business with an uncertain economic future, if you know what I mean. But however, one thing is certain. His father's business is not the one that bought this latest Rolls Royce. He's currently using as a minister of a poor oil country. And also, he wasn't gifted by his friend, just like his brother Amaechi. Sometimes I wonder, these people, they've been so used to government largesse and patronage that they think that the rest of us are so docile to reason or think. Well, they might even consider us capable of intellectual reasoning, but don't care whether we think whatever we think, because President Tinubu's desperation of power beyond 2027 is giving both of them relevance. Otherwise, Wike would have been long be sacked, and Amaechi thoroughly investigated from his days as speaker, then governor, and also minister for transport. As I know, somebody like Adiza Bala Usman, who was the MD of Nigeria Port Authority while he was minister, and maybe Chief Okoye Obono Obla, former chairman, special presidential investigation panel, would be very interested in that investigation and would also, he may probably have a lot to say. No, but seriously, because corruption is so prevalent and them no open some people book, no means say the rest of us no go against it. So they should know that. Make them spare us all of this their sanctimonious talk. Just imagine if President Tinubu were not interested in a second term. A lot of people around him, like, would have been in jail by now. Anyway, I don't mention anybody's name. I just said, But really, imagine if President Tinubu were not interested in a second term in office and blinded by the quest for power. Probably by now he would have been able to take more tougher decisions, not minding who will get offended. Apart from the removal of subsidy on petroleum product and the floating of the naira, he would probably have been able to set the country on a new trajectory by decentralizing power and governance structure of the country, make the center less attractive, enable the creation of state and local government policing, allow every region the autonomy to tap their own resources and generate their own revenue and fix their economy, instead of this feeding bottle system where everybody runs to Abuja every month to share revenue allocation, which has consistently breed laziness, incompetency, and corruption in Nigeria. So just imagine, again, if truly President Tinubu has chosen to serve only one term, by now, he would have made Abuja less attractive for politicians by decentralizing power. And everybody will concentrate on building their own region. And there would be regional competition. And Amaechi and Wiki and all of these, how did somebody describe the APC, PDP, and ADC? Association of Past Criminals, Association of Defeated Criminals, Principalities, Demons, and Power, would have been so irrelevant, or they don't even matter to Nigeria, because we can only break up Nigeria to make it up. And if they do that, if he does that, he would have written his name in gold in the sand of time forever, that he won't even be bothered about 2027. But unfortunately, he's interested in a second term. And that singular ambition has blinded him so badly to the extent that he has elevated politics of defection to 100%, while governance is at 0%. You can't micromanage a big entity like ours from one spot and expect it to work. Everyone will be working for their pockets. All of these, the gestation period and benefit will come. All alike will work. Anyway, make I leave Tinubu and his politics, because with the sophistication of the internet these days, the 2027 election will be determined by performance and record, and not by how many governors defected to APC, so they should know. I know a lot of you are scared to talk about the next thing I want to talk about, but if we don't talk about, our leaders will not learn. Because I'm wondering, what would make Peter Obi so comfortable in the midst of these same people he told us in 2023 that are the problems of Nigeria? Anyway, before you start to insult me, remember, this was the same Peter Obi who, without structure, was able to pull the numbers he pulled in the 2023 election with a hitherto unknown Labour Party, only for him to abandon the same Labour Party to some unknown Julius Abure and Lamidi Apapa. And today, instead of being the driver of the coalition of a new Nigeria, he's begging the likes of Atiku and Co for a one-term ticket in a coalition that is not different from APC. I just laugh. Please don't tell me that there were moles in Labour Party because some people have said so. You get where more no day for Nigeria. Even the presidential villa and the new ADC get plenty more. So if he becomes president and discover there are mole in the villa, he will abandon him. Well, I hope they give him the ticket, because after listening to Ahmed Dati, his running mate, if you believe that Atiku, who sees the 2027 election as his last chance because of his age, and some northern politicians who believe that presidential power is their birthright, would set up a coalition and then give Peter Obi the ticket, he will need all the prayers, jazz, mami water, and all spiritual power to pull that off. Anyway, it is politics. Anything can still happen. Just imagine if Peter Obi had resolved and rebuilt Labour Party from 2023 to date. By now, he would have recruited so many credible people into the party, and would actually be the coalition the ordinary Nigerian people, would have been sending shivers down the spine of Tinubu, Atiku, Amaechi, Wiki, and others, instead of running around trying to impress the same rejected politicians and the ones that Nigerians are preparing to reject. So I will therefore advocate, while a coalition of good people is to put Tinubu and his government on their toes is necessary, the coalition should, however, be aware that most people are looking in their direction because of the likes of Peter Obi in their midst. And if they fail to give him the presidential ticket, then Tinubu could have, I swear, just be singing Allah Akbar and Hallelujah at the same time. And as a follow-up plan, why still hobnobbing with the coalition? Because that's a Wiki style of politics, and Tinubu already said it. Peter Obi should take practical nocturnal steps to resolve the impasse in the Labour Party, own it, and use it to establish a coalition of the ordinary people who are actually looking for or to run away from the traditional politician, most of whom are coalescing in this new coalition. We must all understand that for Nigeria to be on the right track, We have to make the center unattractive, unbundle the structure, and let the federating unit work competitively, independently. Why pay taxes to the center? Failure to do this, if you like, no matter how many times we change government, now NYSC. Now your suffering continue. No be juju, I just common sense. Anyway, lastly, free advice to my biggest bros and Egbon, Dele Momodu. He should stop responding to Wiki. He does not need to prove his importance or what led him to interview Wiki to people. The tiger does not parade his tigritude to show that he's a tiger. If he were not important, Wiki would not have invited him or continue to mention his name in every interview. We all know who Dele Momodu is in Nigeria and how Ovation Magazine put Nigeria in the world map. Unlike some unknown people with no identity or identifiable business, who only claim fame, who only claim to fame is because they drove Benz in their university days and only became known because of politics and government. So trying to explain to the world who Dele Momodu is only makes people like Wiki more relevant because you go explain tire. Now after government, we go know who they relevant, so whether Wiki they relevant or not. So bros, I bet die the matter. Anyway, make I leave on here, for now and wait for your comment, response or insult on our comment section. Feel free to share also. They say irresponsible power is inconsistent with liberty, as a government cannot subsidize irresponsibility and expect responsible citizens. So my face, no they fear your face. Now my face, your face supposed to fear. See you next week.